I'm thinking it probably moves around. It just happens to be here right now. But let's go check it out. Why not? Absolutely beautiful. So we must be in the Chinese garden. So here we are at Mamaia Cafe, Restaurant, and Lounge. So we tried, and it's delicious. The meats are great. The pork steak is delicious. And now we're gonna go for the Chinese and the Japanese garden, and then there's an arboretum here as well.
So after this, we're gonna go to the Japanese garden.
Yes, it's the Japanese garden's inside the botanical garden along with the Chinese garden.
And how much did you pay for the tickets to see this garden?
$22.75 a person, Canadian.
And include just the entrance in the botanical and Japanese garden, right?
Yep.
And this garden, it was made by a teacher. And I'm not sure which year. I believe 1920, because I know he died in 1944.
So they call this the Garden of Useful Plants. So most of these must have either edible or medicinal purposes.
This one is vegetable.
Uh-huh.
And this is the red poppy seeds, like in Romania.
Uh-huh. I don't think they're supposed to be there, but they're there. Alpine garden. Monastery garden? I have no idea what that is. Go that corner. And this is the useful plant garden. There's always tons of volunteers working away. Always so helpful. Nice little seating area in the shade. On this grapevine trellis here. Wish I get my grapes to grow like this. This really is a very well manicured garden. I thought the $22.75 was a bit much to come see it, but absolutely beautiful, and you can tell they put a ton of work into it. Oh, there's a cute little garden with a well in it.
We go in. Are you thirsty?
And there is a water fountain here. Oh, but it's not really a well. Just a fake one. We found a toxic plant garden. Ooh, toxic plants. Huh, they put rhubarb in toxic? Well, it can be. But there's also ways to prepare it that you can eat it too. Canadian wood nettle. Oh, that is a big, big nettle. Let's skip that. Common buttercup? I didn't know buttercup was toxic. Redness and swelling and blisters. Wow, this one has its own attention sign. So that's poison ivy right there. And the old saying, leaves of 3, stay away from it. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, let's get out of here before I do something dumb and touch something. So now we're making our way towards the ponds. First Nations Garden, that's what they refer to as the native Canadians before the arrival of Europeans. So I guess that's like a native plants garden. And then the Japanese garden, one of our favorites. I always love Japanese gardens and the design of them. Yellow and pink water lilies. Wow, those are so cute. So over by the pond here, lots of people just laying out, relaxing, enjoying, setting up a little picnic. Really is a beautiful place to come and relax. We're making our way to the First Nations Garden. Looks like there's some museum here as well. Some information about the different plants and probably about how they use them. how they make these canoes. It's really amazing. Some of the other things they made, like shoes and dolls of corn husk. Well, I'm not sure which one, but we found either the Japanese or the Chinese garden. And I hate to sound like a prick, but I think this is the Japan. I don't know. It's pretty. It's a pretty garden. These are pretty. Little purple ones. These are happy with them. This 14-meter tall structure resembles a Chinese pagoda, a type of building inspired by an Indian stupa. It's cool. So we must be in the Chinese garden. I knew that. This 14-meter tall structure resembles a Chinese pagoda, a type of building inspired by an Indian stupa. A stupa is a bell-shaped monument that houses replicas or sacred Buddhist writings. Alright, that's really cool. The little signboard says the main elements of the Chinese garden. Plants, the water, the stone, and the architecture are the four elements, I guess. Plants, there's nothing different or amazing about them, but there is symbolism and history in the plants they have selected. The water and the reflecting pool represent horizontal lines, while the mountains behind are the vertical ones, taking your eye up. The stones symbolize the Yang principle and forms the garden skeleton. In the architecture, several pavilions symbolize the human presence in the garden. That's a really quick overview of the elements of, I think, most Chinese gardens, but this one in particular. And Chris came in the main pagoda here. What'd you find in here, baby?
It's a table, so they say when the dinner is served, each person has a small plate, a bowl, a pair of chai stick, and a glass.
So these are all the rules of a Chinese dining table. So it teaches a little bit of Chinese history and Chinese tradition in this room. So leaving the Chinese garden, we found this beautiful display of bonsai trees, which I've always thought of as a Japanese art form. Maybe we're entering the Japanese garden here. And we went right into the Japanese garden. These bonsai trees are always so impressive to me. Just these beautiful little miniature versions. And how old they are. This one's 45 years old, 60 years old, 55 years old. So impressive, beautiful. This one's pretty young, at only 25 years old. 80 years old for this Chinese elm. Well, this is the oldest one I saw, which is a 90-year-old Chinese elm bonsai. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, so looking at the map, the bonsai area is actually separate. That's the Bonsai and Contingent Society of Montreal. And we're gonna go walk over to the Japanese garden, sort of right next to the Chinese garden, the bonsai. All right, at least we finally found a sign for it. Hopefully we can find it now. We keep getting distracted and not finding it. Hopefully we find it down this way. And distracted again, we found the roses. These are all like, they look like wild roses, huh? Or tea roses? Little crazy roses all over the place. Well, Chris said she found the cutest rose in the whole rose garden. I think she's right. Well, we found the Japanese garden here, the Japanese pavilion. There's a little explanation. To the main house and now into the garden. This garden was dedicated to the memory of Mr. Hector Dupuis. I'm not saying that right. First Canadian executive vice president of Toyota Canada.
Inside actually the garden.
And was made possible by generous donation of Toyota Canada. And the tea garden was donated by the city of Hiroshima. We're gonna take a little footbridge over the pond. Wow, those are some big koi fish they got hanging out here. There he is. Cute little baby ducks. Mama's hanging out watching. Absolutely beautiful, these blue irises. We have a nice little demonstration building next to the Japanese garden here. There's the tandoori mats and the traditional Japanese style. These are, I'm not sure. I guess these are pictures from the garden. Sorry about this Japanese footwear and where they're inspired from, like the wave pattern. Japanese carp or koi fish, balloon flower, Cerberus. So this is the water garden here. All sorts of plants that have to live in water. Over there is another greenhouse. I think it's where it's like an insect display thing or something. I'm not sure, but we're, as always, running short on time. It is hot out here. I even have my redneck protection collar up.
And which garden did you like? Because like for my surprise,
the Chinese garden.
The Chinese garden.
It is beautiful, yeah. And the whole garden, the whole place is absolutely beautiful. Very well kept, well manicured.
Nice. And the entrance is nicer with these flowers than the rose garden, because rose garden has a little rose.
Yeah. Oh, here's some more roses for you. So I think we're gonna go check out the Olympic Village for a little bit, and then Chris absolutely has to get to the Barbie Expo. And it closes at 6, so hopefully we get there in time. That's a cool statue. I like it. It's like dancing. Doing a little Tai Chi maybe? Don't know. So we ended up back in the greenhouses. There's actually a ton of them in total. Ferns, orchids, tropical rainforest, hospitality, Fugacious, those are like the cactuses, I think. Arid region, hacienda, garden and weedlessness. I have no idea what this. Garden of weedlessness. It's a weird name. And main exhibition greenhouse. So there's 1, 2, there's 10 of them all together. Really, really a large greenhouse. But we're hot, we're tired. We might skip the Olympic Village and go to the hotel to relax for a little bit before heading back out tonight. So we'll have to let you know what happens later. We're gonna go back out and go to where Chris wants to go, the Barbie Expo.
We never see the Barbie Expo. So we had to come to Montreal to see the Barbie Expo.
I guess. I'm thinking it probably moves around. It just happens to be here right now. But let's go check it out. Why not? So some of you might be wondering why we're going to the Barbie exhibit and not some of the more well-known landmarks. And the answer is real simple. Go do what you like. Don't worry about what you're supposed to do. Just go do what you think's interesting or amazing or what you want to learn about.
Did you ever see a Barbie exhibit?
I have not.
Me either. And I didn't play with a Barbie when I was a kid. I don't have Barbie dolls. So
yeah, the other dolls though. I think Barbie is like an American invention, yeah?
Yeah.
We found definitely a busy street here. Yeah. So this is Santa Catalina and Peel Street. Catherine? Santa Catherine? And it is really busy here. So on this Peel Street, they have a ton of outdoor dining too, tons of restaurants.
But they're cute because they're covered, so
Yeah.
if it's raining or anything, it will not bother you.
They look nice and plush, all sorts of pillows on them too. Wine bar, pub, and cigars. Cigars. Well, we're not sure if this is the right building, but it has the right vibe. Well, we're closed. It closes at 6 and it's like 5:15 now, so hopefully they let us in. Because Chris wants to see it. Oh, there's some Barbies. Looks like they're almost taking a lot of it out. Where's the rest of it? Uh-oh.
Let's go see if we have a museum or a...
We have like a removed exhibition. I wonder if this was like the last day of it, but it's all gone. It's all gone, Chris.
So I have to tell her the Barbies are not only pink. She wants us to dress up.
Well, that's the classic is pink. Well, we finally found the Barbie Expo, and as normal for us, it's over with. It almost looks like they're ripping out the whole thing and redoing it and replacing it. Most of the Barbies are all gone. You can see the empty display cases.
Like people are watching the Barbies,
Yeah.
modeling.
You can tell it's been here for a while, like just by the dust on them. So after we struck out at the Barbie Expo, we went looking for a restroom and we found our way into the underground city. So this is one basement level down. There's a bunch of shops in this area. And it really is just an underground, and Christmas did a little shopping. It's just really an underground mall. In the winter or when it's raining or the weather's terrible out, a lot of people in the downtown area just use to get around from point A to point B. Super clean, super nice. Some of the undergrounds are covered in shops, other ones are just walking corridors that connect you from A to B. Ooh, jewelry. Alright, we're back out trying to find this Mamaia, which is a Romanian restaurant, the only one we found in all of Montreal. Yesterday it was closed on Monday, so we're trying again today. So this is really close to that Mount Royal neighborhood that we're in this morning where we got the bagels. It's probably in a different video because we've done a lot today. So it's a really busy happening area, just people walking, and it's like a lively part of the city, huh? Alright, so here we are at Mamaia Cafe, Restaurant, and Lounge. It's actually sort of a cute place. It's sort of in the basement. I can imagine it's fun to come at night and sort of party. I like the old brick work. It's a cute little restaurant. We already ordered. This place has been here for 10 years, so any place that manages to stay open for 10 years has to be halfway good. And prices, well, you can get like a meal for two for 60, 2 different options, or these are like big plates of food, and they're $35. Canadian, but me and Chris got something a little smaller. She got the mooch, and I got the roast pork shoulder steak, and of course we had to try the desserts. Papanache. If you've never had a papanache, it's a Romanian dessert. It's like the world's greatest donut. They have to be made fresh and they are absolutely delicious. And Chris also got a profiterol, which in Romania is like cream puffs and ice cream.
Mamalia cu brânză și smântână. That's polenta with cheese and sour cream.
So we tried and it's delicious. The meats are great, the pork steak is delicious, and even the mayonnaise for your french fries is homemade. It's like a garlic aioli and it is delicious. And that's why Europeans put mayonnaise on their fries, because it's like garlicky and delicious. Look how thick it is. That's mayonnaise. Alright, our desserts one. This is the papanache. Usually it comes as a round donut, but this time it came as 4 little balls, which looks really good. It's sort of like a creme fraiche and cherry syrup on top. And this is a Romanian profiterole. It's like an ice cream sundae with cream puffs.
Homemade cream puffs.
Homemade cream puffs in this case. Look really good. Oh, and that sour cherry is the jam on this, and that's what makes it so good. Well, all right, guys, we're over by the Montreal sign. We finally found it to take a couple of pictures. As you can see, that's the end of our night. We had a great day. We started by going to the botanical gardens,
Chinese garden.
and the Chinese garden, the Japanese garden. Unfortunately,
we missed
we
Barbie.
tried to find the Barbie expo. We missed it. We tried to do so many other things, but we had to go back to the room to relax a little bit. The heat and the sun
And
sort
then
of got to us midday.
Had dinner at Romanian restaurant. We had the drink over here.
Yeah, and then later we came out and met a friend. We didn't record it, but we had a drink right down over here. We're in the art district. What do they call this area? I forgot. It's right down the downtown area where the Montreal sign is. This is our last night in Montreal. What did you think of Montreal, baby?
I like Montreal. It's bigger than the other cities, Ottawa and Quebec City. But what I don't like about Montreal is, first of all, everybody speaks freaking French, and I don't understand when they speak around me. Anyways, what I don't like is they don't have a restaurants. You have to go in like a restaurant if you need. I like the metros.
The metros are super nice, but I wish there was nice prevalent restrooms in the metros, but it's not too bad. Most of the restaurants will let you in to use their restroom, but we just got caught in an area we couldn't find one today.
And we like the weather. It's actually,
weather was
I have
beautiful.
a jacket now in the night, and it's June. So in Vegas that never happened. So I like the weather in the summer, at least right now where
definitely
we are,
like for all the cities we visited, Niagara, a little bit in Toronto, Quebec City, Ottawa. I think Montreal was my favorite. Beautiful city. I'll definitely come back here. It has a little bit of like a New York vibe, but if like New Yorkers were nice.
But the drivers are not that nice.
Dude,
Some people cannot drive in Montreal.
I will never drive anywhere in Quebec province ever again. Nope, won't do it.
This is our do and don'ts. So
thanks for following us, guys. Tomorrow we'll probably have one more vlog from this Canadian trip from Toronto tomorrow. Maybe two more vlogs depending on how much we film. We're flying home. That's the end of our trip. We had a great time, and we will see you guys in the next video.
bye from Montreal.
All right, guys.